Hi, this is Suchi, and in our previous video, we were discussing about if-else statement, if-else conditional code block. Now, in the previous video, we also talked about a number and we were checking whether the number is positive or not. What if we want to also check whether the number is positive or zero or negative? So how we can approach that? So there we have to check two conditions, whether it is positive or it is zero, and third part we can push into else, that if it is not positive and not zero, then it will be definitely negative. So how we can achieve that? With an if Elsif statement. So how we can add if Elsif in Python? So let's say there is a number. Let me copy this entire thing. Let's simplify it by removing this part. So our intention is to check whether the number is positive, which is happening in this statement. After checking whether it is positive, we can also add a else if statement. So the syntax for else if in Python is elif. So you can see elif, elif. And then we can add the condition here. So let me add if a equals 0. Then I can add another block here, which will be printing 0. And else we can say that if it is not positive, not 0, then it will come to the else part and it will say it is a negative number. So here we go. If we add 0 here, you can see 0 is being printed. If it is minus, so we can see a negative. This is how we can easily add else if block, and we can have multiple else if blocks. It is not necessarily that it has to be a single block. We can add multiple elif block like this. Let me add. Now, another thing is we can also have nested if. So how we can have nested if? Some other if statement, if else if, or else if else statement inside if or elif block or else block. For example, let's say this is the number and we want to check if a is greater than 0, and let me add some other number also. So maybe I want to check that if both the numbers are, if a is positive, I want to check if b is greater than a, then we will have the, print the subtraction of b minus a. So what we can do is, once we find out that a is positive, what we want to do is if a is greater than b. So when a is greater than b, I want to subtract, print a minus b, and else I want to print b minus a. So we can nest, we can do this in if part as well as we can do it in the else part. We can do it in the else if part also. So we can nest if else statements like this. Inside a if statement, we can also add multiple if else statement. So this is how we can add a nested if else statement. Now let us consider one scenario. For example, based on the number entered, we want to print which day of the week it is. Let's say I am inserting, let's say I am giving 1. So if 1 is given, this will be Monday. So if I give 1, it should print Monday. If I give 0, it should print Sunday. For 2, it should print, and so on. So how we can do this? How we can achieve this? So you might say that, okay, we can use if-else-if statement here. Like this, we can use if-else-if statement here. Yes, we can achieve that with if-else-if. So let's say day number I am adding as 3. So it should print Wednesday. I'll check if day number is equal 1, is equal 0, then print Sunday. If day number equal 1, then print Monday. Okay, so we have added all the days, and if something other than 0 to 6 is given, we can say that invalid. So we can print maybe invalid day number. So here you can see, as day number is given as 3, we can see that Wednesday has been printed. If we pass something else like 5, we can see the Friday is appearing here. And if we add something else, for example, -8, it is saying invalid day number. It should be between 0 and 6. If I give something like 10, it will again say invalid day number. So our program is working fine. But the only problem is we have written, our code is working fine, but we have written a lot of if-else-if statements here. So how we can avoid this? So in this kind of scenarios, we can use a dictionary. Instead of doing this, we can use a dictionary. How we can do that? We can simply say days of week, and then we can create a dictionary. Let's say 0 stands for, let me just copy this. So here we have created one dictionary. And then what we can do is we can have the day number. Let's say providing some value, and then we can check if that key is available in the dictionary. Let's say if day number in days of week. As we know that dictionary keys we can access with days of week dot keys. So this will give us the dictionary keys. Let me just print it for your convenience. And then if the day number is available in the dictionary keys, what we can do? We can print this dictionary of this key, and else we can just print our this statement where we say that this is an invalid day number. So this will serve the same thing that this code is doing. So let us run this cell and check what is happening. So here we go. You can see here our dictionary keys are these things 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as we have assigned it here. So let me just remove this print statement, run this. So here you can see the same output it is giving, that this part of code was giving. But here we had to write a lot of if-else statement. Here we can easily do it with a single if-else statement. And in case we do not have this invalid scenario, then even we can completely avoid this if-else statement. So here we can change this thing, the day number, and we can see that's that day number 8 is invalid because it is not lying in this range. Here we can see Wednesday is being printed when we are passing 3. So now, what if we want to add multiple conditions in if statement, in a single if statement? For example, I want to check there is a number, whatever it is. Let me assign some value as of now. And we want to check if it is lesser than 10 and greater than 2. So how we can do that? We can easily do with a AND operator. So how we will use that AND operator? What is that AND operator here in Python? That is a simple AND, A-N-D AND. So let me write it. If num is less than 10 and num is greater than 2, then what we need to do? Then print valid, else invalid. So we can easily do this using AND here. So print valid when it is less than 10 and greater than 2, else print invalid. Now, what if I add one more condition here? So let me just run it. As you can see, 12 is not lying in this range 2 to 10, so it is invalid. If I add something like 8, it will be valid. Now, what if I want to check this number, either it is lying between 2 and 10, or there is another condition, if it is lesser than 50 and greater than 45. Then also print valid. And if none of these conditions matched, then we can say else print invalid. Now we can definitely add another else if statement here, like if number is less than 50 and greater than 45, we will say valid. But as we are doing the same sort of task, like this print valid, this is common in both these cases. So we can merge these two statements. How we can merge? This is going to work, but let's say I'm providing 45, I'm providing 44, it will be invalid. But if I'm providing 46, it will be valid. Or I'm providing 7, it will be valid. So that is working fine. That is fine. But the problem here is these two conditions are actually leading to the same path. Then why should we have different blocks for this? So we can also merge this using an OR operator. So how we can do that? This is simply, you can put a bracket over here, because these two AND statements will be coming as a group, and these two AND statements will also coming as a group. So these will be inside bracket, and in between these two, we will be having one OR. So either this condition will be satisfied or these two conditions will be satisfied. Then we will print valid, otherwise we will print invalid. So this is the OR operator which we can use to say that, okay, any of these two conditions, if any of these two conditions is satisfied, both of the conditions are satisfying, also this will pass. So this one, if we run this, you can see this is valid. If we pass 7, this will also be valid. And in this scenario, both of them cannot be valid at the same time. But in many cases, we can see those kind of scenarios where both of the conditions could be satisfied. So this is how we can use AND OR operators. There is one more thing, that is negation. Condition, we actually check if the expression is getting evaluated to true or false. So if this is true, basically whatever this expression is returning, if it is true, then only this will be executed. If it is not, then it will be the else part will be executed. That is the main concept here. So instead of giving this, we can also pass a flag. Let's say I have a flag which is set to true, and I want to check if that flag is true, then print success. So this can be one thing. Let's say I am changing it to false, and you can see it is not doing anything. So this kind of scenario we are having. Now, what if we need to check whether this is false or whether this flag is not true? When the flag is not true, then only we will print a success. So one way of doing it is, if it is not equal to true, then print success. This is one way. But another way of doing it is using the not operator. So how? We don't need to add this expression. We just simply add a not operator, not. So if not flag means if not true, then you can see nothing is being printed. So basically flag is true, so nothing is being printed. If I say false here, you can see the print statement is executed. So we can use a not operator before an expression or a Boolean value to negate it. So if it is true, it will become false. If it is false, it will become true. So let me just print it and show you. Here you can see as the flag is false, it is printing true. So if we say flag equal true, it will print false. If I say false, it will print true. So not will just make the true, not will just make the true to false and false to true. We have and, we have or, and we have our not operator. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Keep learning, keep implementing, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.